recent data, Burger King is losing ground with McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Wendy's. The estimates show that the company's issues will only get much worse in 2023 as revenue declines and its restaurants continue to lose favor with the American consumers. Today, we are going to analyze this insolvency. So far this year, 3 significant Burger King operators have declared bankruptcy. Significant cash flow issues, a sharp reduction in foot traffic, sales volume, and earnings have been recorded by the largest franchises in the states of Ohio, Utah, and Michigan for years. About 400 businesses running at a deficit will permanently close their doors this year. In addition, 124 underperforming outlets were closed by the company's executives between January and May, and 63 more restaurants were removed from its portfolio just last month. In 2023, around 10% of Burger King's 7,400 outlets across America are predicted to close, according to reports published by Restaurant Dive. According to industry estimates, corporate management is already urging falling franchisees to sell their stores to other operators rather than liquidating them, which might result in losses of $300 million in revenue. The company filed a lawsuit with a number of creditors and suppliers to compel the sale of its last few locations run by struggling franchisees. According to the Restaurant Industry Online, Burger King deemed the operator's attempt at reorganization to be ill-fated and stated that it will not proceed with a procedure that will have the franchisees continue to own the businesses. If the operators do not cooperate, the brand plans to sue them to recover nearly $10 million in unpaid royalties and advertising payments. For the management of its stores around the world, the fast food giant relies on a sizable network of private franchisees. However, in 2023, many US-based operators' precarious financial situations drastically deteriorated. The company's board earlier this year issued a message with a highly threatening tone, suggesting that issues between corporate and franchisees are continuing to worsen. Joshua Kopsa, the CEO of the company, made a suggestion that certain franchisees are dealing with difficulties like those that forced Tom King's into bankruptcy in March. It has also been known that certain franchisees are having issues, whether they are operational or financial. According to him, many of these operators aren't set up for long-term operational and financial success. Restaurant Dive spoke with experts in franchising and financing to learn whether the bankruptcies were a sign of future challenges for the restaurant industry as a whole and why large competitors haven't yet experienced these issues. The biggest problem I think Burger King has right now is that they didn't have the cushion that most of their competitors had from significant ramp-up and profitability during COVID-19, said Cody Davis, a partner at C-Squared Advisory Group, an investment bank that specializes in working with franchise businesses. Prior to the pandemic, Burger King's US business lagged behind its competitors' digital skills, leaving the company ill-prepared to benefit from early 2020 boom in online sales, according to Davis and Brentel Sasa, principal at C-Squared. Davis explained that he believed that they did not have the right marketing and product emphasis at that time. He also says that King's didn't prepare for online sales, pushing them even lower. The chain's adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, which Desta claimed were higher than those of rivals, have 5.1 times net leverage, according to the RBI, or Restaurant Brands International, earnings statement. As a result, the business is less able to take on debt required to fund pricey initiatives like upgrading the Burger King franchise restaurants in the United States as part of its Recapture the Flame program. While labor expenses, supply chain concerns, and development expenditures have all increased, rising interest rates have put many franchisees under stress by enforcing tighter loan restrictions. According to experts, a sizable but unspecified portion of franchisees have lost access to development lines of credit and are in some sort of technical default, which means that they have exceeded their lease adjusted leverage ratios or have not met other lending confidence criteria like bid targets or liquidity requirements. For its Reclaim Flame advertising and digital marketing program, the chain has stated plans to invest $150 million in order to catch up with competing brands. Additionally, it has been investing in digital menu boards, point-of-sale systems, printers, and changed to creative messaging and ad testing that have increased shares of voice and recognition with customers. Franchisees, on the other hand, are required to spend $250 million on new kitchen appliances like toasters and fryers, parking lot renovations, and lights. Operators that don't take the necessary changes and who are currently reporting weak sales performance risk further closures or bankruptcy. The 63 closures in June alone constituted less than 1% of its American reach. With its new program, Burger King gives high traffic or well-located stores priority, but it also implies that more distressed franchise units will receive less help. 3,700 of its stores lack the necessary upgrades because only 54 of its locations are taking part in its renovation program. Over 10 years have passed since the fast food chain's US stores became less profitable. Burger King's annual revenues really fell by 36% between 2010 and 2020. In 2010, the brand had an average revenue of $2.5 billion compared to $1.9 billion in 2009. Even before the COVID-19 epidemic hit in 2020, Burger King's income started to fall in a worrying way. For instance, the company's revenue decreased by 41.6% from 2012 to 2013. So it's hardly surprising that investors responded so quickly to the company's disappointing quarterly results, sending shares of Food Brands International tumbling last month as executives issued inflation-related warnings. Burger King's domestic store sales increased by 1.1% in June, but this was a very dismal increase when compared to McDonald's, its greatest rival, which saw a 15% increase in sales. Not to mention that Burger King lost its position as the second largest burger business in America to Wendy's. In 2021, Wendy's overtook Burger King to take second place in the country. According to technological statements, Burger King's system sales decreased by 5.4% to $9.6 billion last year, while Wendy's system sales climbed by 4.8%. Burger King had somewhat more than 7,500 US locations at the time, whereas Wendy's only had 6,000. Since 2019, numerous things have contributed to its demise. According to former CEO Jose, the business was having trouble crafting the ideal value story for its customers. He said that the business has been inconsistent in how it approaches value, which is why it introduced a $1 your way menu in December 2019 before switching to a $5 your way menu in January of 2023. On the other side, Wendy concentrated on their high-end make-to-crave menu, which included items like the jalapeno Papa Chicken and the pretzel bacon pub cheeseburger. The menu may have contributed to a 10% boost in additional sales and showed that value generally means innovation and quality in addition to yum. Burger King may be losing ground to other major chains such as KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and Habit Burger eateries all recorded net sale increases of 7% in the previous year. The top 15 fast food restaurant chains in the US, as measured by system-wide sales, are shown by market and consumer data company statistics, and these have been challenging years for the whole fast food sector. According to recently released research, Burger King's consumer appeal has dramatically declined. Burger King, which gave the SEC a boost in the rankings for 2019, has dropped to 6th place. This data showed that in comparison to some of its bigger rivals, the company actually had a relatively tiny market share. For instance, McDonald's has a 21.4% market share worldwide, followed by Starbucks at 7.5%, KFC at 2.8%, and Subway at 2.8% as well. With a 1.2% share of worldwide fast food businesses and a $1 billion net profit, Burger King is at the last spot. McDonald's revenue soared by $7.5 billion in 2022, borrowing $1.9 billion from Wendy's, while customer satisfaction plummeted by a staggering 40% over the previous 6 quarters due to complaints about declining quality, healthier options, and rising menu pricing. It is evident that the industry giant is not as financially stable as we all believed, and if there's anything that we can take from the retail's meltdown and the bank failures earlier this year, no corporation is too large to fail. An empire that has been developed over many years can be destroyed by a few wrong decisions. Just let's hope that Burger King prevents that from happening. And that's all about today's video. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and press that bell icon to get notified on our upcoming videos. And of course, let us know your opinion in the comment section below.